Hi, I'm Britt.
And my name is Alissa.
And this is SkeleTales.
And this is the podcast where we strive to answer the age-old question of, is my dead grandma watching me?
Alissa, why don't grandmas eat ghosts?
I don't know, Britt. Why?
Because they taste like sheet.
Why just grandmas?
I love the spooky season. Just grandmas eating ghosts.
Just grandmas, but everyone else does because they love the taste of sheet. Oh my gosh.
That's all I got for you today. Actually, not true. That's not all I got for you today. But I don't think my other thing is grandma related.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's not a bad thing. What you got today, Britt?
Okay, so I've had some spooky shit happening in my house, and I told you a little bit about it this weekend when we were having our 100th episode. So last week, Mike and I are downstairs. It's evening time. The kids are in bed. We're finishing up a show, and upstairs we hear this thump, bop, 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 like somebody's running upstairs. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it on the podcast, but one of my sons, Liam, is a sleepwalker. And so I was like, crap, Liam's sleepwalking again. Pause the show. And so I go up there, go to the boys' room, and they are fast asleep, like not moving, completely dead asleep. And so I go downstairs thinking, was it the dog? No, the dog was also passed out downstairs where Mike and I were. Mike heard the running upstairs too. Unexplainable. No idea what that is.
Okay.
So the very next morning, Mike and I are working in our home office. The boys are at school, and we hear a loud crash, like huge, like, oh my God, a shelf just fell over or something like fell off the wall. Mike goes down there, nothing. And I was like, was it the garage? Go in the garage. Checks the garage. Nothing fell. Everything was exactly how it was in the house. No idea where that crash came from. All of this is bizarre. Mike and I are both experiencing these things. But the really, really freaky part was it was either that night or the next night. I'm laying in bed and I'm having a really hard time going to sleep, and I keep dozing. It's like a really fitful rest. And I'm laying there dozing a little bit, and I feel pressure on my arm, and my face, I'm laying on my back, but my face is towards the wall. And I'm thinking, shit, Mike is really close to me right now, that this isn't normal. And so I turn my head to look over. Mike is on the completely other end of the bed. And I'm looking towards where this pressure is on my arm. There's nothing there. And then as I'm looking in that direction, the pressure eases off my arm. And I'm just staring. My eyes are big. I'm wide awake now. And I even reach my hand out to the spot next to me. And I start moving my hand around thinking, am I going to touch something? What the fuck's going on?
I don't know why. I just pictured a hot dog, like a giant hot dog. I don't know why. That would be weird too. That would be scary.
Laying in bed next to me. I don't know. There was a moment I even was like, did one of the kids crawl in bed? And I didn't realize it. What is going on? So yeah, nothing's happened since the bed incident, but I'm a little freaked out. And then, okay, so last week, if you have not listened to last week's episode, it was our 100th episode. We were in a haunted hotel. I used the pendulum, and it was a total bust. Didn't move a millimeter in this haunted hotel. I found this pendulum in the woods behind our house, and I've done it twice now in the house, and when it swings aggressively. And Alyssa's seen it on our Zoom calls. And now I'm wondering, shit, maybe there really is something going on here.
I've asked you to research and ask the neighbors. Does everyone avoid your house? Like when they walk down the street, do they do a big like arc away from it or anything?
No, we do keep the window in the office open because the days are cooler now. And I sometimes catch people's conversations as they walk by, but nobody says anything like, oh man, I can't believe there's another family living there. Like it's none of that.
Oh, what's the tea? What's the tea on the street there? Have you seen how tall that girl is?
It's always really boring stuff like, Jeffrey wasn't in the meeting on Friday and blah, blah, blah. And he keeps walking. I'm like,
okay.
I want to know something about,
yeah,
what's going on in the hood. But yeah, that's my haunting.
What if
Grandma, maybe? I don't know. Mm-hmm.
What if that pendulum began in that house and they had to, whoever, it was thrown in the woods or discarded in the woods or hidden in the woods because of the shit that was attached to it. Oh no. I mean, every time you say that pendulum I found in the woods, I'm sure 100 red flags fly up. Like, that's like how horror more movies start. Like this is.
I know, bringing in a haunted object.
I love it. It sounds like you made it up. It sounds like make believe. I swear, Britt she's a horrible liar. She lies about everything, but she's not lying about this. I swear.
I don't lie. I'm the worst
pathological.
Liar. You know that I am lying immediately. It's all the tail signs of a lying person talking slowly, their eyes rapidly moving back and forth. It's me. I don't know how to lie. Anyways, another thought I had is my sister-in-law went to a secondhand shop and took a photo of these creepy dolls, these two creepy dolls. And she's like, do you want me to get these for you? And first reaction is, fuck no. But then second reaction is like, we need these for the shop. So yes, absolutely grab these creepy twin dolls.
But not even those. You've had several haunted dolls come through your house lately.
I know. I'm like a train station for haunted objects, but all of this kind of did also transpire around the time that they entered my home. So, and then the pitter patter on the upstairs.
What sounds like children,
little kids,
little doll feet. I don't know if that made a good noise.
No,
I don't like it. Well, I think we'll get to the bottom of this. Whatever doll you sell, but then somehow ends up back in your house, is probably the one that's doing this.
Oh, I don't want
when you wake up and it's standing at the end of the bed, staring at you, or standing on your chest, sucking the breath from your mouth as you're sleeping.
Alyssa, this is not helping my situation. Oh my God. No, you know what's going to happen is in a few years from now, the new tenants in this house are going to be like, I was just wandering in the forest and I found these two dolls out of nowhere. I wonder how they ended up.
Perfectly good. Look at these dolls I found.
They're so cool. I'm bringing them in the house.
I don't know. The red-eyed Shirley doll was pretty creepy.
Alyssa, do we just talk about ghost-eating grandmas and haunted houses?
Have we talked about ghost-eating grandmas? Oh, ghost-eating grandmas. A ghost eating a grandma, ghosts. Or grandmas eating ghosts, or ghosts eating ghost-eating grandmas.
Ooh. Either one. Do we talk about that?
No, we don't. So don't know why we belabored that point. We tell true tales of the strange, unusual, and paranormal. But I would read a story about a ghost eating grandma or a grandma eating ghosts. Either way.
You don't hear a lot about hungry ghosts eating food or
people.
Humans.
I think, you know what? Maybe count our blessings. But if you do have one, write it in. I want to hear that. Please.
100%.
Please.
Before we hop into our stories, though, I was thinking maybe we could talk a little bit about our haunted hotel experience from last weekend at the Hotel Andra.
Hotel d'Andra. Hotel d'Andra. Oui, oui. It's not French hotel. It's like Norwegian.
In the slightest. Scandinavian a little bit, I think. Yeah.
I think so. I don't think they speak French there. I may not be good about geography, but I believe that's a fact.
Okay. If this is your first time listening, Alissa and I, last week, stayed in a haunted hotel. You can go listen to that episode. While we were there, we talked with a lot of the staff, and I was, as my son calls it, big braining it, and I recorded it with my phone. So we talked with a valet who, if you recall, was on the lookout for his hot ghost love on the 9th floor. And I thought that maybe I could just share his experience via audio for everyone to hear what the valet said to us. Just a quick heads up, this was recorded outside the hotel, so there's a bit of background noise, but you can still hear him really well.
We have had like stories and rumors of there being like ghosts on 9th floor. So basically, some people heard that the music just started like playing to like some 1800s like creepy music at the middle of the night. Someone complained that the door had just like been like they felt something nearby, and some other people were like when they went in, the door just slammed closed behind them, even though the door has like. It doesn't close because we have a stopper on it.
Yeah.
But when we were there, the door just slammed like right behind them, which has never happened. So there is stuff like that. So what are you guys seeing on?
9.
Oh, there you go.
Of course.
So that's the floor that people have experienced paranormal stuff. Mostly there during the night. But what I was trying to do is I was trying to date the ghost because I thought the ghost was gonna be hot. Because people said her name was Andra, and apparently she was a hot ghost, so I was trying to look for her. But I never found her. And my coworker just gave me heat for that. Like, out of all the people in the world, you want to date a dead ghost. And I was like, welcome in. Welcome in.
So have you seen her? Have you seen signs or heard signs?
I've seen stuff and signs myself too, but I haven't actually seen it, like seen her anything. But the door slamming behind me, that happened to me as well. The elevator usually is fine, but at that floor it started making like noise, like door won't shut, because if something was like
Blocking it.
even though I was closing the door. And then I've heard like whenever I'm going in, like usually when you come out to the service elevator, the door is like always open, right? So the door, same thing has happened with the door. You have the stopper on it, the door has closed behind me, or it has just like randomly opened even when I left it closed. So stuff like that has happened on the 9th floor. So you guys are in the right place for it. So and one more thing. So basically, when I was on the 9th floor, I was unloading luggage on the belt car, and so the luggage was on the belt car, but like and there's no way it can fall because the luggage is so heavy that it's staying on the belt car. But when I came back, the luggage was tipped over on its side.
But the bell car was standing up still?
Standing straight. Like the luggage was like laying flat on the belt car. But when I came back, the luggage was flipped over.
So yeah, I had actually forgotten when we were retelling some of his stories last week about the bell cart incident of the luggage falling.
I did
over.
too. And we used one of the bell carts, and it's true. It's not, I mean,
oh, there's, yeah.
Something had to have pushed it off.
Yeah, if you've got heavy luggage on there, that is not going anywhere.
Okay, I just had an idea. To any young single ladies, how old do you think that valet was? Around like 20?
Yeah,
he was young.
20.
He was young. He was tall. He was handsome. Like any of you like single young ladies out there in the Seattle area that might be listening, maybe you like the sound of this fellow's voice. Maybe you're on the lookout for a new man in your life. This is what you're going to do. You're going to get your ass a flapper costume. And then you are going to start sneak into the Hotel Andra.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna run into this fella, and he's gonna fall in love instantly. Like he's already said it. Instant love connection there. And there's your happily ever after solved. Your love.
SkeleTales matchmaking.
Yes. Okay. And when he's like, wait, how are you real? Oh, your love brought me back to life. And then you have to have a whole backstory prepared. Be ready for that. Okay. Find some graves in a graveyard that are your family that you can take him to visit. Get rid of all your earthly belongings because you won't have them either.
Such
but
commitment.
You will have love. And there you go. Solved.
I freaking love this idea. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Flapper girl. Do it. Yep. Matchmaking on SkeleTales.
You won't have a driver's license. No proof necessary to prove your name is Andra.
it's bound to be a love that will last through lifetimes for sure.
Several lifetimes. And then you can haunt the halls of the Andra together forever.
So speaking of haunted hallways, while we were there that night, Alissa and I walked the hallways a lot. We had our recorders out and we were, we're going to pick up some EVPs, some phenomenal voices coming through our phones. And we walked around the apartment suite several times, like talking out loud to the spirits of the room. Did you hear anything? Did you get anything on your recording?
I didn't. I listened back and I didn't. Did you get anything on yours?
Not a damn peep. So nothing happened audio-wise, although the next morning there were a couple of odd things that did happen. First of all, I read before bed. I have a Kindle reader, and every night after I'm done reading, I put it on the nightstand. This is my normal routine every single night. The next morning I wake up and my Kindle is not on the nightstand, but in the bed with Alissa and I. And I mentioned it at the moment. I was like, why is my Kindle in the bed? And I think I may have even asked you, like, did you move my book? And you had not.
Yeah. I was like in the middle. I didn't even know you read a Kindle. It was like 2 a.m. when we went to bed. I couldn't even believe, I was out like a light. I didn't even know you were reading or anything. But when you opened the Kindle, I meant to ask you, was it like open to The Great Gatsby? Or
would that be funny?
Some other flapper era
jazz music of the 1920s, bibliography. No, none of that. It's my same book. It was just in a weird spot.
Yeah.
But the thing that still to this moment is really wigging me out. On our 100th episode, I gifted Alissa this dope gold skeleton necklace.
Pure gold. Cost a fortune.
Solid. And I had one too, one for each of us for the night. Next morning, we're packing up, we're getting ready. One skeleton necklace is there in the room, cannot find the other one. Both Alissa and I scour our bags, and it is completely missing. Alissa has a photo of us before we go into our hotel room. We're both wearing the necklace.
Yeah, when we got back,
so it didn't
evening.
fall out into the night.
Okay, I've solved that mystery, Britt.
Oh, did you find it?
I meant to text you. But I found it in a weird ass spot. I found it in my makeup brush, my eye makeup brush pouch, or that foldy thing. I have like a tri-fold makeup brush storage sleeve, and it was folded up in there, which I found very odd because
you weren't putting makeup on.
Yeah, it was just a very weird spot to find it folded up in there. I wasn't putting on makeup. So I don't know.
We made no missing objects, but some moved objects happened that night. If that can count as even a haunting, I don't know. I'm not going to play around that we were sober.
We were not.
So,
I was when did I take off that necklace? Whose necklace is this? I don't know.
Okay, so the next morning, Alissa and I, of course, we have to sleuth it a little bit more. We go and we talk to the front desk guy who really wants to remain anonymous. He was a little concerned that we were going to share his name anonymous. And he had a pretty good story for us. So I'm going to play that. I'm going to play that for you guys.
When I was working, I went into the service elevator, and as I left, I heard a very distinct whistle, like a cat call whistle, and so we were as curious as you guys are about the whole situation as far as ghosts and things like that. Apparently, it's supposed to be this Prohibition era flapper girl that's supposed to be haunting the ninth floor, and there's supposedly guests who have listened to old timey music or heard ragtime music on that floor. And they can't explain it. But basically, yeah, that's the only real paranormal experience that I've had where it's
you can't explain it.
I can't explain it because when I turned around, nobody was there. And so I just was oh, okay. And then I just kind of kept it moving. But I do know, we've had a couple different weird things that have happened on that ninth floor as far as like, you know, locks going out and like things like that. But for the most part, you know, I can't say necessarily that it is like it's mostly fine, but like you have like those couple moments where like there's some annoyances and you just like subconsciously know like it's the ninth floor.
Yeah.
Where it's like, am I being spooked here? You know.
I had forgotten that he talked about the locks going out on the ninth floor.
Oh, yeah, that they have to like reprogram them all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, one thing that did happen to us a couple of times, actually, the valet had mentioned that the elevator will sort of jolt back open as if somebody is like trying to get on the elevator, and it starts to close and then it does the thing, whoop, oh, nobody's there. It opens back up. It did that for us.
It did do that for us. I think someone was trying to get on. I think someone's following you, Britt.
Good, probably. We also, that same morning, talked to the morning valet, and he was, we talked to him for a while, and he sounded so in denial, and I just kept asking him more and more questions. Long story short, he has felt a presence before, in denial about it, has felt a presence before, but does not want to feel anything. He has felt it before and immediately will put in his earbuds, or he'll, feel something and like, move. Like he's a scaredy cat.
He was real elusive. It was real hard to pin him down on asking him questions. Like he asked us if we knew anything about like Indonesian culture, because he's from Indonesia, and their connection with the afterlife is just very different over there. And I was picking up that if he allowed himself to be open to it, then he would have an unrelenting like attack by spirits and stuff. Basically, the moment he's like, okay, I believe and accept, then he would be seeing them everywhere. And he was not into that. Like it creeped him out.
I think if he accepted it, then he would be accepting that he has a sensitivity to it, and then would therefore open the door and be prone to all of the spirits.
Yeah, and he kept mentioning he was there before the renovations. They did a major renovation, and then after, and we were even trying to like figure out if he was experiencing anything new or different. And I still like wasn't really sure on that. But basically, he just would choose to ignore everything weird he saw and heard and just head down, do his job.
Yep.
But yeah, he was freaked. Like everyone we spoke to was very, for the most part, very open and curious about it, and had heard
I
stories.
love this staff. I was delighted by every person we encountered. And I interrogated every single employee. Alissa knows there was a cleaner walking down the hallway, and I was like, excuse me, have you seen any paranormal things? And they're like, I don't speak English.
Like after you went on a monologue about it, like only after like a 15-minute monologue of talking to the guy and explaining what we're doing. And then he's like, no, I don't speak English very well. Like he looked trapped.
Oh, I had such high hopes. He had like a cross earring. I was like, ooh, and he was wearing black. I was like, ooh, he knows some spookies. I mean, not to stereotype people.
Right, but he's in those rooms all the time, like if someone's going to see stuff, the cleaning staff probably. But yeah, they were all aware of it and not as closed off to it, shut down as maybe I expected based on what I'd seen review-wise about the hotel.
Okay, Alissa. Final end note. Is the Hotel Andra haunted?
I think it is. I do believe it is.
I think so too. With our little strangeness and then hearing the stories of the staff, I think so too.
I got a little freaked out even afterwards that maybe I brought someone home or something.
That's always a fear of yours too.
I know. There's something there based on everyone, the ninth floor. I love this idea of a like super hip flapper girl haunting the halls. I would love to see that. I am glad we didn't wake up in the middle of the night with a ghost standing at the end of the bed.
I kept looking, because I didn't have a very restful night's sleep, mostly probably because I had been drinking, but I did. Every time I woke up, I would look. I'm like, and I would scour the room with my eyes. I'm like, is there a shadow in the corner? I looked intently for that ghost, and
I couldn't get the doors open to go to the bathroom. That was one thing that I was like, the doors felt stuck, and then I wasn't sure if I pushed them or pulled them. And then I was like, I'm going to break these doors and pee on the floor, and I'm not going to get my deposit back. And then I would have blamed the ghost. I'll be like, haunted. You put us on that haunted floor. Not my fault.
This is what you get.
This is what you get.
Pee's a risk out of fear or being shut in.
Oh, when we checked in, we were not put on the 9th floor, the haunted floor, per request. Were we put on the 6th floor, which is the floor from which the blind woman tumbled to her death? Ooh, maybe that was fate. Maybe she's the one who was trying. Maybe she went in, changed the computer record, the reservation, and moved us to the room from whence she fell.
Well, I threw a hissy fit, and we ended up in
she
the
made
9th floor.
Big scene. It was quite embarrassing. No. So anyway, the guy upgraded us to a suite because it was the only thing they had available. Poor us. Anyway, he's like, this is where we put all our guests to die. This is where we said, isn't that what he said? What did he say? Something.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, I don't want to die. And he's like, no, already dead.
Already dead. It was so perfect. We're like, absolutely great. Put us there. So we joked about that. We laughed about that. This is where the guests go to die, in this room. We're like, perfect. That's right our style. I immediately go to the room, tell the ghost that jazz sucks. The light flickers, kind of rile it up a little bit. Ha, 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 ha. Then it sort of disappears. Nothing else happens. We finish our show. We are getting ready to go to the soiree that we were planning on going to. And my phone rings, and it's Mitch. And I think he's FaceTiming me or something. Long story short, he had texted me, my heart's doing something weird. And he's on FaceTime, and he's showing Britt and I, he's like doing his little watch pulse, and he's getting like a medical alert from his watch that his heart is in atrial fibrillation. It's AFib. So his heart rate was like 180, and like he felt real faint. He did not feel good. We're like, go to the hospital, call an ambulance. Secretly, we're like,
do we have to go home?
So asshole. But I am one to say walk it off, but I told him to call the ambulance. I'm like, you should don't fuck around with that. Told him to take some baby aspirin, which it actually immediately after that, it went away. And so I did wonder though, if we made that happen. The ghost.
Something like transported,
yes,
transpired.
Yes. It was like, fuck you. Fuck, you don't like jazz, huh? Yeah, well, I don't like your husband, so
you were like,
he's going to die.
What a terrible irony if Mitch dies tonight.
Yes.
The clerk had made that comment.
Right? I know. It would have been a terrible irony. And also the first night that I've been away in a year, Mitch is all of a sudden getting medical alert. He just almost died of a broken heart. From one night apart
it was
from me.
Too far away.
Okay.
Too far away. Is he doing okay, though?
Yeah. So he ended up calling on Monday morning because I was like, call the nurse's hotline. Call this. You got to do something. Call somebody. And they were all yelling at him. They're like, why didn't you go to the hospital? He ended up seeing them Monday morning, and he didn't have a heart attack. They were able to tell that from it. But it was very smoky that day, too, in Seattle. It was stupid smoky. He was outside all day. They thought maybe he was dehydrated. It might be sleep apnea, this and that. Regardless, he's got to go pick up a heart rate monitor. He's got to do all these things because those alerts do not happen for nothing. Actually, his heart was feeling shitty. He was feeling fluttery. And then he put on the watch because his heart was feeling fluttery and did the little EKG on there. And that's what told him that he was in atrial fibrillation. So fun. That's fun. That was a fun, almost death story for that to happen. Anyway, because we're super responsible, we're like, he's fine. Let's go party.
Let's go party.
Oh my God. Okay. So we go to this soiree in Seattle in this mansion-y place. I still have no clue what the hell that place was. It was very cool looking, I would say it's like an event hall, but it was old timey. It was at least 100 years old or something. And everyone's dressed up and
it's called House of Spirits. So it is intentionally like a spooky soiree.
Yes, that was it.
It's
it was
not
like,
just like a
and you're kind of solving this murder that happens as you're also entertained by singers and dancers, and you're supposed to interact with the spirits in this house to sort of get clues to solve this mystery of why this little girl went missing and why the house is haunted. And so I can't hear with a shit in like background noise, not my forte. Britt, eagle ears, she could hear, but she can't remember shit. So
oh no. Especially if I've been drinking, it goes in and immediately out. I retain no knowledge.
So this one spirit we're talking to has these like white out contacts in and this gorgeous like headdress and just looks so creepy, speaking in a spooky voice kind of like this. I don't have any other stories about the Vega family, but I do have another story to tell you. Would you like to hear it? And we're like, yeah, sure. She's like, okay, well, I can only tell one of you. And so it's decided, because I have a better memory, that I'm going to be the one who learns this ghost story. And here's this ghost story. And she's like, okay, come with me. So I follow this spirit through this, crowded room of soireers into an employees only what ended up being a closet, possibly a bathroom. Not really sure now. Should I even tell my part of it, or should you tell your perspective of it? Yours might be more entertaining.
Well, Alyssa goes into this employees only room, closet, bathroom, and I'm out there. I'm like, oh, she's going to get some juicy details. We're going to be solving this murder in no time. In the meantime, I'm talking to some other spirits. And it's been a while. I'm like over 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay, where's Alyssa? What the fuck is happening? Like, is she now murdered? Is this the mystery of where Alyssa is? Like, eventually, I want to say you're pushing being in there about 10 minutes. You come out and you have this look on your face I could not even describe, where it was like big eyes and like, kind of shaking your head a little bit. Like, I was like, what happened? Why? And then you tell me what happened.
Yeah. Well, what did I say to you? You tell me, because I think that's a better way, because I'm too detailed. You come out, I come out, I'm shaking my head, and you're like, what happened?
And then you, I feel like you even like pulled me to like the other side of the room away from the headdress lady. And you were like, I was like, Alyssa, what happened in there? And you said, I clipped my toenail and put it in a baby. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And okay, so yeah, I come out, I say, Britt, I just had to clip my toenail and put it inside a dead baby. She's like, what? I was like, you are very happy that you did not go in there, that you would not have handled it. Just because I forgot like how much you hate scary stuff and haunted houses and stuff too. Like you don't do well. You don't do well. You yell, you scream, you run a lot of the time. That is your mode. Mine is to giggle uncontrollably. Like, I think it's so funny. I don't know. It's a nervous habit. So I go into this room. She puts me in front of a mirror. Okay. A big mirror is on the wall, and there's a baby washing bucket on this counter in front of me. And she's like, put down your drink and close your eyes. And I'm like, fuck, I'm in front of a mirror. Like that's one of my worst fears, something popping out. I was like, so she's telling me the story of La Rona, which we could get into another time. And then she's like, okay, open your eyes. And I was expecting something creepy and crazy to be in the reflection behind me in the mirror. But there's nothing there. It's just her. So then she's like, okay, well, in order to proceed, I'm going to need something from you. Are your feet accessible? And she hands me some toenail clippers. She's like, I need a toenail. And I was like, does it have to be a toenail? And she's like, yes. I'm like, I have these stockings on. I'm like, okay, can I like take off my stockings? I had like fishnets on for my outfit. And I was like, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. Like, I don't I have to take them off. So she turned around and I took off my stockings and I fucking clipped my toenail. And I'm sure the whole time I'm like, I need to clip my toenails anyway, which I did, honestly. If I'm not, but in the pitch dark, a little tough. And she's like, do you need a light? I think in her,
You're like, one toenail, I'll do you one better. 10 toenails going to the dead baby.
All of them. So then there's no dead baby at this point. She goes into like this other part of the room, which I think was like a bathroom stall. And the lighting in there is all purple and dark and everything. And she comes out with this like baby doll that's like all blue and like a dead baby because La Rona drowned her children. And she comes over to me. She's like, do you have your toenail? And I'm like, yeah. And, she's like, put it inside the child. And there's like this slit inside this baby doll. And so I put my toenail in there. And then she handed me the baby and had me put it in the water in the tub. And that was about it, really. I don't even know what happened after there. She was in there for a while afterwards, probably disinfecting everything because she's like, I can't believe this fucking bitch just took her stockings off and clipped her toenail.
You called her bluff.
Yeah,
she did not think that was.
She did not think I was going to do this. I wonder how many people actually did it. If I was the only one,
I didn't see anybody else go in that room. I kept an eye on it because I almost wanted to like warn them, like, don't do it. Nobody else went in there. It was so weird.
Yeah, maybe she picked me because I had stockings on. She's like, oh, she can't access her feet. I'm going to pick her. I don't know. It was ridiculous. Like I was giggling the whole time. It was so bizarre and so like.
It was a dope night.
It was so fun. It was so fun.
House of Spirits Soiree. I definitely would go again. Yeah. It was really
We really
cool.
enjoyed ourselves. I don't want to give it all away because I don't. It was worth it, and I would go again another time.
Would you clip your toenail again?
I mean, I thought I clipped it a little. I was a little worried I like made myself bleed because it was really dark and I couldn't see what I was doing. Would I clip my I mean, it was, I don't like, I have trouble. I have a follow through issue. I committed.
Yeah.
Once I commit, I'm in it and I couldn't get out. Like, I would be terrible in a cult. I said I'd be a great cult leader. No, I would fall right in line. I'd be like, yes, master, clip my toenails and shove them in babies. Absolutely.
No problem.
No problem. On it.
Oh my God. It was such a fun weekend. You coined it perfectly. Like we have worked really hard and it was just a great way to celebrate.
It was.
Yeah. Should I just finish with like one quick little haunted story, even though it's not related to Seattle or haunted hotels or anything?
Yeah, that's why people are tuning
why
in.
Not?
Sure.
A little finisher for our spooky season. Okay, this story comes from Annalise. I have two of my most memorable ghost stories to share. When I was 11, I was staying at my dad's house during the summer. It was about 4:30 a.m. and everyone else in the house was asleep. I needed to use the bathroom, but the bathroom was at the end of a really dark, scary hall, so I really didn't want to go. I eventually got up, though, and I made my way down the long, dark hallway to the bathroom. As I was using the toilet, I heard 3 knocks on the bathroom door. Let's see if I can make it. Then a few seconds later, I heard a little girl's voice, probably around 3 or 4 years old, singing some sort of lullaby on the other side of the door. I was utterly terrified because no one else was awake. I finished using the bathroom and then ran as fast as I could back to the room. I felt like I was being watched in my room, so I put on a YouTube video to try and distract myself. As I'm watching, a guy on the video says, "Hi," and I heard the same little girl's voice whisper in my ear, "Hello." My next story happened a couple of years ago. It was late at night and I was laying down to try and sleep. I had these LED lights up on my wall that I was facing. I had them taped up on the wall. Occasionally they would fall down and I would just tape them back up. So I was watching the lights when out of nowhere, I saw them literally get ripped off the wall. This was not like when they would fall. They literally flew off of the wall. I was scared and tired, though, so I just closed my eyes and forced myself to sleep. Later that night, I woke up to my blanket halfway under my bed. I didn't think anything of it at first because I sleep on the edge of the bed and usually woke up with my blanket on the floor in the morning. I thought it was just me moving in my sleep until I went to grab it. I tried pulling my blanket back up onto the bed, but could feel something else at the other end trying to pull it away from me.
I knew where that was going, and I did not like that. No.
Something under my bed was playing tug of war with me. I was so terrified, but all I could do was keep pulling at my blanket. So I pulled until whatever it was let go. I moved to the middle of my bed, put the blanket over my head, and finally went back to sleep. I have a feeling that whatever pulled my blanket is the spirit that's been attached to me for quite some time now, and nothing has ever actually hurt me, so I don't think whatever it is evil.
It just wants to play. Why won't you play with me?
Hello. Oh my God. All of it. That whole thing. Brilliant.
So I am wondering, the 3 knocks, that kind of made me think, is there something with 3s, like sets of 3s and like the paranormal and like spookiness? Because that light flashed 3 times at the hotel as well. This knocked 3 times.
We've heard many, many stories about the 3 knocks.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Crazy. I mean, maybe she let it in. She opened the door. I don't know how I was supposed to open the light, so I guess that wasn't really an option, but that is creepy. But as long as it's okay, I don't love this idea of trying to pull something out from under the bed and something is pulling back. No.
Nope.
Not my style whatsoever.
She's a brave gal.
Ugh. But she seems like, okay, I'm at peace with it, I guess.
They haven't hurt me, so, like, I guess it's fine.
To put on something to distract you, too, and then have it be like, hi.
Oh, God. And it's like, yeah, it followed her into the room.
Oh,
it right into your ear, too. Just like, hello. Ooh.
I have
that's
a story, but I can't read it today. It's too long. Like, I just can't do it. Can't cram it in today. We did a lot of recap.
A little cliffhanger? Can we call it a cliffhanger? Okay.
Well, I guess. Sure.
Too much recap, but it was all good recap.
I thought so, too. It was a big weekend. It was like a lot packed into one day and so much information. So it was a great first experience out and about in the world. Actually, you did this Kansas City hotel.
We're like half-ass podcasters, half-ass paranormal investigators.
I wouldn't even say we're half-ass paranormal investigators. I am like a 20th of a cheek of an ass cheek investigator.
Oh man.
I will set up a phone and record it and hope for the best, but
we are not afraid to speak to a room if there's a spirit in it. But as far as knowing what the fuck we're doing, we don't.
It's a little reckless. Well, hey, if you all have stayed in a haunted hotel or have a little girl that hangs out underneath your bed, let us know. We'd love to hear that story. You can email us at skeletalespodcast@gmail.com, or you can call us on the SkeleTales hotline.
302-689-DEAD, 302-689-3323. We are on all the social medias under SkeleTales or SkeleTales Podcast, and you can message us over there as well. We are open to all forms of story sharing. What else, Alyssa?
Like, review, rate. Everything you can do is spread the word, helps the podcast. And I think that's about it. No? Did I say all the things? Oh, haunt you later.
Haunt y'all later.
Good night.
Good night.